Welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray on ESPN 790 AM, brought to you proudly by the Tennessee Wildlife and Resources Agency.
Hey, welcome back to Outdoors with Larry Ray. It's always cool to talk to David Best. Watch his podcast. I think it's on Thursday nights, normally on Facebook Live with David Best of Primary Tackle. But as Dave was saying, Dave Gabbard was just talking to me there about the popularity of kayaks. If you want one, you better get in line for that. But before we kind of shift into gears on this little segment on Outdoors with Larry Ray, first I want to do a little somber note here, and then we'll get Shelby to liven up the studio a little bit. But we lost two giants of friends of mine and friends of a lot of other people in recent weeks. First, we lost Dennis Demo. You folks know out there, all the boat dealers and everything else, that Dennis was always there. You could find him at the Harris Quan cookout a lot of times. Man, what a great guy. And when I first became outdoor editor to the Commercial Appeal, Dennis was right there. Helped me out a lot. Always could count on Dennis Demo, and so our prayers go out to his family. And then back on May the 17th, a man that I really respected. He was a hard-nosed high school football coach, made fame as a Memphis State track coach. Some of his relay teams were the best ever. But he spent the bulk of his time as a high school football coach, and that is Larry Wright. And my connection to Larry goes back to when I was the prep editor for the Commercial Appeal. For 21 years, most people may not know that, but I spent 21 years covering high schools from 1967 to 88 before I became outdoor editor. And Coach Wright was one of those guys. A lot of people called him Mop because of his hair, but he was a military-style guy. He loved what he did. He was built to be a coach. I think that's what his daughter Tracy said in the obituary I read, but died at the age of 89. Man, he took over at Blytheville and took a team that was 0-10, and they went 10-0, I think, the third year there. They did a documentary about Coach Wright. He was at White Station High in Memphis for many years, Hamilton High, Northside High. Just name it. He touched so many young men's lives that he had an impact on them, and I know his wife, Wynn. This is a trivia question that maybe you may toss out sometime. And Dave, your and my association with the Mid-South Junior Fishing Rodeo, which for many years, over 60 years, was held. Wynn Wright, I think she was not Wright. That's her married name. I'm not sure. I can't remember what her maiden name was, but she was the first grand champion at the Mid-South Junior Fishing Rodeo. How about that? Dave, I know we had a 50th anniversary of that rodeo when it was sponsored by the Commercial Appeal, and Wynn was recognized as one of the champions, but I think she was the first champion. I think at Old Riverside Park, if I'm not mistaken. I think, Dave, your wife, didn't she compete in that? Didn't she fish in that?
Very first fish my wife said she ever caught was in that rodeo.
Is that right? That's his wife, Rand. And so a lot of things right there that Dennis Demo, and then for sure my friend Larry Wright. Prayers go out to the families of all of those. Another dear friend of mine just lost his father-in-law this past week, Al Snodgrass, the father-in-law of my hunting buddy, Steve McPherson. So the prayers go out to the McPherson family also. But let's get back into this because, this is Outdoors with Larry Ray, and we really appreciate our listeners out there over the years. Gene Smith is out sick today, but we still have Dave Gabbard as the other half of the duo. And Shelby McCall is here with her trumpet, and I think it's time to liven up this place, Shelby. What do we got here? What are you going to just? You going to surprise us? Is this name that tune? No.
No.
Okay. What?
Well, this was like the intro of one of the songs I did in a group that I was in a while back.
Okay.
It's kind of stuck in my head.
Okay, it's stuck in her head. She's about to let it come out of her mouth. Here it comes. Wow.
Yeah.
So what was that?
It was a song called Cannon.
Cannon.
And I got to play like a little intro into the song, and it was a lot of fun.
It was okay. So you blew that Bach trumpet. How long you had that trumpet?
Oh, a while.
A while?
Quite a while. Yeah.
Quite a while. Oh man, it's a beautiful trumpet.
But what brand of mouthpiece do you use?
A Shilky.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Now my next door neighbor Adam Robertson, plays trumpet and gives lessons. He had a case the other day when he came out and played taps for everybody on Memorial Day. That was over his shoulder, a leather case that he put the trumpet down inside of. I've never seen one like that.
Yeah, it's like a little handbag case.
Yeah, like a handbag.
Yeah, I used to have one of those.
You did?
Yeah.
And he had his mouthpiece.
It's a travel case. Yeah.
It's a travel case. Well, he traveled anyway. So thank you, Shelby McCall. Man, that's pretty cool to hear that. And let's get back with Dave talking about what's going on as we hit into June. And I know a lot of folks are saying, well, we've had some free fishing days. We had all those things going on. Hopefully we'll probably get some boat shows back and some other things. But Dave is heading to the Grand Slam. They call it the Grand in Spartan, as he was mentioning earlier. And I was asking him a 12 gauge. And Dave's big into reloading, and because he's really helped me out, and I got to get another gun out there to him, let him look them over, stuff like that. But in the competition, Dave, explain that a little bit to our listeners, how that works.
Well, you could get as technical as you wanted to, but the competition.
Don't get too technical for me.
Okay.
Shelby probably knows,
when,
but
when we talk trap and in these competitions, it's what we call registered trap.
Okay.
All your targets are registered with the Amateur Trap Shooting Association, and you have to be a member of it.
Yeah.
So, the events. There's 3 different events at these shoots.
Okay.
The one we call singles.
All right.
And the other, that's shot from a distance of 16 yards off the back of the target throwing machine.
16 yards. Okay.
16 yards.
All right.
Okay. The next event that you have at these competitions is what we call handicap.
Okay, and that would be me probably. Okay, I'm handicapped. Okay.
That is longer yard shooting.
All right.
And your handicap can either be from 20 yards all the way back to what we call to the 27-yard line.
Okay, you're pushing. It's a little. It's further. Okay.
Right.
All right.
And it's and the competitors are broken up, and the only way that you move back is by either winning the event or shooting a score that's qualified to move you back.
Okay. Yeah.
96 or above. And
96 or above?
Right. We'll get to start,
Wow.
And you move back in yards or half yards and yards. So, and then the third event that you'll have to shoot is doubles.
Is the doubles?
He's shooting 2 targets, that's long.
So do you compete in all 3 of those? I mean,
I compete into all 3, and the people that compete in all of them, they have a couple of events that what they call the high all around and the high overall. The high all around is made up of the 400 target championship events, like the 200 singles championship.
200.
Yeah, and then 100 handicap championship targets and 50 pair of doubles for 100 targets.
And you got, I mean, there'll be over 1,000 shooters, won't there? I mean,
up at the Grand, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, there'll be over 1,000 shooters. And
we'll probably have, like this coming week at the Tennessee State, they'll be close to, I don't know, 400 shooters probably.
Okay, and that's in Nashville? That's in Nashville?
At the Tennessee Clay Target Center. Most people refer to it as the Nashville Gun Club.
The Nashville Gun Club, and this is trap, right? Are we talking about?
This is trap.
Okay.
And most of you in the clay target sports, you've got three disciplines that a lot of people shoot. One is trap, one is skeet, and the other is sporting clay.
Yes, yeah.
And plus there's some other little guns, 5-stand, what they call 5-stand and stuff like that. But that's the three main events, and that you see are the three main disciplines that people compete in. And
you've been doing this for a while. I mean, this is something.
I've been shooting registered targets since 1987.
In 1987, golly, I didn't know that. Yeah.
But I've had, as shooting goes.
Yeah.
I've been shooting since I had firearms since I've been 6 years old.
6 years old. Now, so who taught you? You got 2 minutes here. Tell me.
My uncles and my dad. When we used to have my dad came from a fairly large family. So when we got together at my grandmother's place, and all the uncles got together and talking around, it wasn't too long before the 22 rifles come out, and we started putting bottle caps up on the wood pile out there.
A wood pile? A wood
pile? To see who could drive the nails through the bottle cap.
All right, we got to take.
Since Gina's not here, I throw a little fun out there.
Oh, hold it. Okay, get ready, Shelby. Go.
Okay. This gentleman had his grandson over and, spending some time with him, and his grandson was saying, "Grandpa, it's wonderful. You and Grandma's been married 50-something years, and you still call her honey and baby and darling."
Yes.
And I think that's really neat. And his granddad looked at him and said, "Well, son, to tell you the truth, I forgot her name 5 years ago, and I'm just afraid to ask what it is."
We'll be right back on Outdoors of Larry, right? I hope.